It is the end of an era in eastern Uttar Pradesh with the two big dons, or the Bahubalis as they were known colloquially, dying in controversial circumstances within the last 1 year. While Atiq Ahmed was shot dead in police custody by miscreants last April, the family of Mukhtar Ansari is now alleging that he was slow poisoned to death inside the prison. The circumstances so far show that on 19th March, some food that Mukhtar Ansari had in jail, he alleged that it was poisoned. On 20th March, his lawyer had said the same. On 26th March is when Mukhtar Ansari's condition worsened in jail. He was brought to the hospital, but he was discharged the same evening and taken back to jail as the doctors did not find anything amiss. On 28th March in the evening, his condition worsened again. He fell unconscious, upon which the DM and the SP of Banda reached there, the Banda jail, and he was brought from there to the hospital where he was declared dead at 10 in the night. These are the mysterious circumstances, and of course an autopsy will show what exactly happened, and his family is asking for a top level inquiry. But for decades under political patronage, both Atiq Ahmed and Mukhtar Ansari ran their fiefdom in eastern Uttar Pradesh, stretching from Gazipur till Prayagraj, and they were accused of high profile killings. The entire region knew them as mafia, with land grabbings, hired killings, kidnappings and extortion becoming a cottage industry attached to their henchmen. It is like a real life adaptation of the Mirzapur web series or the movie Gangs of Wasipur. Both the Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party in the past have leaned on both Atiq Ahmed and Mukhtar Ansari for political gains in Purvanchal, an area that became to be feared for such mafia and organized crime. Mukhtar Ansari served as an MLA from Mau for 5 consecutive terms from 1995 to 2022, and he retained his assembly membership for nearly 27 years because he was never convicted in any case. The fortunes, however, changed since 2014, and more so after 2017 as BJP came to power in the center and the state under Yogi Adityanath, and who was very keen to change this image of Purvanchal, since Mr. Adityanath also comes from Purvanchal, from Gorakhpur. A sustained campaign by the Yogi government saw properties of both Ahmed and Ansari being confiscated or razed to the ground, and this is how Baba's bulldozer model, as they say in UP, became famous in the state. Ahmed and Ansari's long pending cases were also pursued very aggressively in courts by the Yogi government, ensuring that they faced justice finally. Both their financial and their legal protection was broken. Ahmed and Ansari saw their first convictions under the Yogi Adityanath rule. In fact, Ansari was in jail for the last 18 years since 2005, facing nearly 66 cases, but never as a convict. Now, since 2017, he has been convicted 8 times. Ansari's conviction for life in the 32-year-old Avdesh Rai murder in May last year, in fact, had put an end to his delaying tactics or disrupting the court proceedings, influencing witnesses, turning them hostile just to buy time. In Rai's murder, he was convicted after a long gap of 32 years. Charges were framed against Mukhtar Ansari in a 1997 case after 24 years in 2021. In another case of Agra, charges were framed against him after 23 years in 2022. There was a case registered against him in Lucknow in the year 2000. The charges were framed after 21 years in 2021. This shows his influence earlier on the police as well as on the judicial system. But what is raising concerns is this repeated mysterious deaths in Purvanchal. Earlier a key gangster and a shooter of Mukhtar Ansari, Munna Bajrangi, was also killed inside the Bagpat jail in 2018. Atiq Ahmed also saw sustained police action against him since 2017, before he was shot dead in that dramatic killing in police custody along with his brother. "Hum to mitti mein mil gaye," so said Atiq Ahmed, just after the death of his son Asad Ahmed in a police encounter just days before his own killing. Atiq's property and assets worth nearly rupees 1400 crores were confiscated by the police. Nearly 50 shell companies were sealed on the charges that they were used by Atiq to convert his black money earned from extortion into white money. And before 2017, much like Mukhtar Ansari, Atiq managed to get bail and be a free man, despite over 100 criminal cases against him. The first case against Atiq Ahmed was lost way back in 1979, but no government in UP could get him convicted. It was the Yogi government that ensured strong prosecution in the case on the abduction of key witness Umesh Pal that led to the first ever conviction for Atiq Ahmed. 1990s, when we come to Mukhtar Ansari, Mukhtar Ansari also, had been complaining consistently of this threat to his life. His family had been complaining that, as I said, he's been slow poisoned to death, and these charges could not how to see a detailed probe if the autopsy shows that it's not a natural death. In the early 1990s, in fact, Mukhtar Ansari had begun his political career as a student leader in Banaras Hindu University. He was also elected as an MLA for the first time in 1996, and the gangster-turned-politician soon became an undisputed leader of Purvanchal region by capitalizing on the Muslim vote bank. In 2007, Ansari and his brother had joined the BSP. In 2009, Ansari fought the Lok Sabha election from Varanasi while he was in jail, but he lost to the BJP candidate. And following this, a year later, the BSP expelled Ansari and his brother from the party. The gangster-turned-politician, Mr. Mukhtar Ansari, in fact, had 8 convictions so far, as I said, against him by different courts in Uttar Pradesh. He was lodged in Banda jail. Last year, he was also sentenced to 10 years of imprisonment by the Ghazipur's MP MLA court for the kidnapping and murder case of Bharatiya Janata Party leader Krishnanand Rai. On March 13, he was sentenced to life imprisonment in another case about using forged documents for obtaining an arm license in 1990. He had 63 cases of land grabbing, extortion, and murder on him. At the age of 15, in 1978, a case of criminal intimidation was lodged against Ansari. So the first case against Mr. Ansari, Mukhtar Ansari, was lodged way back in 1978. The first murder case was lodged against him in 1986, and his name has also been on the list of the 66 gangsters issued by the UP police last year. Mr. Ansari, Mukhtar Ansari, entered the world of crime, but he comes from an illustrious family. So it was quite a departure from how Mukhtar Ansari landed in this world of crime and became a top gangster. His grandfather, M.A. Ansari, was a freedom fighter, one of the early Congress presidents, one of the founders of the Jamia Millia University in Delhi. His maternal grandfather was Brigadier Muhammad Usman, the highest ranking official in the Azad Hind Fauj, which, fought against the British. But such a person belonging to such an illustrious family entered into the world of crime and in a way, demolished this whole law and order paristhiti, the law and order situation in UP through trademark organized crime. The bigger picture is that the Purvanchal is now free of its 2 biggest mafia, who also represented 2 major parties like the SP and the BSP in the state assembly. The era of the Bahubalis and the gangster-turned-netas in East UP is over.